Crockett Cup qualifiers begin, and we get the Crockett Cup next week, which is always good on, of course, the NWA Powerr review show. And that means one thing: I am joined by my illustrious Scottish co-commentator, co-hosts. We're not quite at commentator stage yet. Miss Fiona Loughran, hello. How's the sun?
Hello. How's the sun? What sun?
Oh, we've got blue sky. I
We
don't
need
know.
to just stop talking about the weather because it's always shit up here.
Well, well, if it helps, it's lovely and sunny at this time. I can't see cloud in the sky.
Yeah, just stop now.
Oh, okay. I was going to say we'll move on to something a bit more better to talk about, but I don't think we're going to. Look, the NWA announced some news yesterday, which we got rather excited about. They'd signed another TV deal, according to Billy.
That Billy can't talk about again.
Can't talk about. Billy can't talk about. But what we do know, what we kind of know through X and Twitter, is that this new deal isn't going to help us one iota, which I'm probably going to ask you the most stupidest question I've ever asked you, but how do you feel about that, Fee?
I'm really disappointed. Like really, really disappointed. Um, I put it out there when it was mentioned, and I responded to Kyle Davis basically saying, I hope this is good news for the international fans. And I got a response today saying, no, sorry, the new deal's on the CW. International fans are going to need a VPN.
Yes.
I am disappointed. That I think that's probably the nicest word that I could use. I just think, my God, it's been 6 months now, or however long, coming up for 6 months. Still no international deal. I am paying to watch something that the USA are watching for free, which is bullshit. I really would have thought that they would have got their act together by now and sorted something for the international fans. So to go and sign another deal for another show for NWA for American fans is just a kick in the balls, basically, for the rest of us.
Yeah.
I understand that there's so much content now with all the new territories and everything, and if it's a new show to cover the territories and what's happening in the territories, that's great. There's more exposure for JCP and Exodus Pro, and I've forgotten the names of the rest of them, but Crossfire, yeah. So if it's more, and Fight the World, is it, in Florida?
Something about that.
If there's more exposure for these guys and the roster members on there, then that's great. But it's shit for the rest of us. So yeah, I know that they need more TV time to cover all their bases. 45, 50 minutes is not enough, given that all the belts that they've got now, including the ones that are out in the territories. But yeah, poor show from NWA. Poor show.
It does make me wonder because obviously, we talk to the NWA on here, and they're like, "Yeah, we want to come over and wrestle over it, in the UK and internationally." We can't go to a promoter and say, book, I don't know, Silas Mason, and they'll be like, "Oh, where can I watch him?" Well,
You can't.
you can't, and you kind of limiting the international, not only obviously limiting us watching the show, but you're also limiting the fact that no one in the UK would really book anyone from the NWA because they can't see them wrestle.
Yeah, exactly. Like a fan's not going to be, they're not going to be a draw over here,
No.
basically. They're not going to be a draw over here because the UK, like I was talking to someone online earlier on today, my friend James, and we were talking, he's like, how big do you think the market in the UK for NWA is? And I was like, I can count on two hands and not use all fingers of the people that I know watch NWA every week through a VPN. Like I could probably count on one hand, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And one of them's you. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I'm not counting myself in that, but one of those people's you. So what benefit would it be for a British promotion to fly these guys over when the bulk of the UK scene, the UK wrestling fans, won't have a clue who they are? Like it doesn't make any sense. And I would love to see them over here. But yeah, it's kind of pointless at the moment until the show is airing over here.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're like an EC3 that people kind of know from
But
TNA.
yeah, because they know him obviously from his WWE days, his TNA days and things like that. So he's already reasonably well established. I mean, I've worked with him over here before, back when he was in Impact, so he is well established. But for some of the guys who maybe don't have championship belts, so Sel Billy, for example, like I think he'd do really well over here. There's some big guys and there's matches like I'd love to see him go up against Will Cruz, for example. I think that would be an absolute cracker. But he's not going to put bums on seats over here if you advertise him because the wrestling fans here don't know who he is.
Yeah. Yeah. That is the unfortunate side of that for sure. But let's move on swiftly to Powerr. And the entrance, the opening this week was obviously all about the #1 contendership for Latimer's national title, which was interesting this week because it didn't feature any voiceover from Joe or Kyle. It was more to do, and I think it gave the main event a bit more of a big fight feel because it was people involved, and nothing against Joe or Kyle. When this really good, they get a good narrative when they talk, but it just hyped up that main event really, really nicely, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Anyway, from the sublime to probably the ridiculous now. So obviously NWA starting the Crockett Cup next week on Powerr.
Next week,
yeah. However, this week we had a match that's, I think it was the run-in or something, wasn't it? Or something called
the play-in for the 16th seed.
Yes, there is one seed left that's still not in the Crockett Cup. We'll go through the brackets shortly. I've got them in front of me here, so I'll keep looking down to make sure my phone doesn't go off. And this match pitted the returning Heavenly Butterflies, who we've seen probably once or twice.
Once, I think, yeah.
Against the team of Michael Lando, who was the big green machine, or green machine, something along those lines.
Green machine, yeah.
And Cheese.
The Cheese.
Sorry, the Cheese. Yes, he did also get a slab of cheese or a slice of cheese and whack it on somebody, one of their chests. What I would say about this, not only about this particular match, but the whole episode, crowd were great.
Yeah, they were. They absolutely were, and they really got behind the guys in this, which was really nice to see, actually, for a change. Well, not for a change, but they were proper into this, and I don't know. These tapings were Tampa, weren't they?
Yeah.
So they were Tampa. Oh no, yeah, they were Tampa tapings. So maybe they're local to the area. I don't know. But they were well up for this.
Sounded like a rowdy bunch. Put it that way.
Yeah.
And the winners of this, we'll go on to face the winners of the Spectaculars match later on, which we'll get to because there's plenty of changes in the Spectaculars in a minute. But anyway, there was some elements of good wrestling in this. It was pretty much a sort of comedy-ish.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I said to you before we came on later, I'm not really too sure about it, to be honest with you. I find it hard to concentrate on matches when it's people that I don't really know. I kind of zone out a little bit, I'm not going to lie. So I was kind of like, okay, that's what it is. It was very indie for me.
Yeah.
It was very much like something that I would see on a show up here between two tag teams or whatever. So
yeah, it had its moments.
Not that that's a bad thing,
no.
but yeah, I think it's hard when it's on a show like that where you don't know them, you don't know the background, you don't know the history, and obviously there's no real story to that other than they're both vying for this 16 spot. But yeah, I'm not sure what to make of that one, to be honest with you.
No, I feel as if it had its moments. Obviously they won with the feeling cheesy move, which is what.
Who brings cheese to a wrestling match? Like
Rachel probably would, to be fair. I don't know is the answer to that. I mean, there were some decent bits in there. They did work. I think Cheese got a bit of the brunt end of a lot of the beating in this because he did make the hot tag, but there was bits there where he did drop a big elbow. He couldn't make it. So
I mean, there was some good stuff there, but I just
yeah, exactly that. And I feel as if it was a bit awkward.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's nothing against you guys, but it was just difficult one to get into. But Orlando and Cheese pick up the win, which was quite surprising. I thought it was going to be the Heavenly Butterflies, to be quite honest with you, that won that. But I was
Crcokett Cup, anything goes.
Exactly that. Then we go to the Knox and Murdoch with Carl Davis and the Immortals. Basically, they were waiting for the seeds to be announced. They played a package from Kenzie and Latimer, which introduced.
Which was brilliant. Thom all suited and fitted. That was so cool.
What does he sound like? I was trying to. I had it earlier. I should have wrote it down. He sounds like someone. I'll have to get it next week. Ready for it. But I'm going to read off the brackets. I'm going to read off the names because Knox and Murdoch did not get #1 seeds, which surprised even me in this. I'll go sort of, well, I'll go from 6. So 16, we don't know yet. Now 16 will take on the #1 seeds, which are Blunt Force Trauma, which now I understand. I can kind of understand why they're #1 seeds. They will go against the winners of the 16, whoever that is. The 15 seed is the Miserably Faithful, and they will unfortunately have I say the very unfortunate news that next week on Power they'll be going against Knox and Murdoch. Well, good luck to them.
You can't see past Knox and Murdoch on that one, let's be honest.
I would, well, from what I hear, Maxley and Pale is going to be involved in that next week.
Okay, that may change. No, Max is in a different match. Max is in a different
of course.
pairing.
Apologies. Yeah, she's seeded 9. Max is seeded 9. Apologies. I think this is going to be Sow and Gags, I think. Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be a squash for them.
Yeah, I feel sorry for them.
Knox and Murdoch all the way for that one.
Yeah, they're going to absolutely annihilate them. The Slime Balls are at 14 seeds. They're going to go against the 3rd seed, the Southern 6, which I can understand that. The 13 seeds are the Kids, and they've got the Immortals in round 1.
That'll be a good one. Again, that one for me, quite like the Immortals to go through for that.
Then we've got the Stew Crew at 12.
Who?
The Stew Crew.
Yeah, who?
Yeah, I don't know. They're going against a tag team that you still don't particularly are fond of yet, Daisy Kill and Talos. Which that's
can't comment on this one because I've got no idea who the Stew Crew are. So
no. The 11th seeds are the Country Gentlemen. They'll be going against the 6 seeds. I don't know how this seed got in, but the Samoans are going to be in the 6 seeds.
Yeah.
I don't know how they got to seed 6, and that's again nothing against them. It's just I don't know how the seeds worked. Basically, is what I'm trying to get to. And then the last match, which is also going to be next week in round 1, is Jax Dane and Tim Storm, and they'll be going against Looks That Kill, which is an interesting one of Brian Idol and
Mark Over.
So Mark Over and Max, well, Max is non-binary, I get it, but Mark Over and Max are 2 kind of female-ish people that are going to make the Southern 6, the Crockett Cup.
Yeah.
Some interesting ones, though. I mean, if you look at it, Knox and Murdoch could potentially face Storm and Dane in the semis.
Yeah.
Or second round, sorry. Or
and I reckon it'll be the Southern 6 on the right hand side of the bracket. I reckon you'd go Knox and Murdoch, Storm and Dane potentially. I can't see past the Southern 6, so I reckon the Southern 6 will get the win over Slime Balls.
So the Gentlemen or the Samoans?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
And on the other side,
and then on the left hand side of the table, you've got to go with Blunt Force Trauma over the 16 seeds.
Yeah, then you got the Fixers against Max and
versus Max and Judias. That's an interesting one for me because the Fixers have caused a lot of surprises in their time in the NWA. And while Max is terrifying and Judias is a huge gentleman, I can't call that one. I'm not going to pretend that I can. I cannot call that one. What about you?
Max and Judias.
Okay.
I think they'll be going.
And then we've got the Immortals versus the Kids. Can't see past the Immortals. Odinson and Kratos absolutely in their corner for this one. And
then I'm going to go Daisy Kill and Talos because I don't know the Stew Crew enough.
Yep.
To get through. Now we are assuming at this point Blunt Force Trauma will take on the winners. There was a little bit from Aaron Stevens as well with his wisdom after that, but then we got to the new spectaculars. So this time they made a good point on commentary here of shredding dead weight.
Yeah, that'll be a bye-bye Rush Freeman.
Rush Freeman no longer with NWA, not just no longer with the Spectaculars, but they have changed to now it's Slade and Brady Pierce, the returning Brady Pierce. We did mention that because he lost the match and he was against EC3, where if you lose, he'd gone or something.
Left NWA, yeah.
But he's brought back in. There was a bit of, Cardona got involved, so there was a bit of shenanigans in the match. But they took on 2 guys who I would love to see back in the NWA. This was Kai Price and Cameron Fox from the Dungeon.
The Dungeon, yeah.
But trained a little by Natty Neidhart and CJ Wilson, Tyson Kidd.
You know they're going to be good if the 2 of them are your trainers. Do you know what I mean? There's like Yeah. And I've written much prefer this tag team match on my
They were
notes.
brilliant. Those, I mean, the match
Yeah.
was great. The
I
match
want to
was
see
great.
more of them.
But they need to get them in those two, Kai Prince, Cameron Fox. I mean, and yeah, you're right. You can tell. I mean, they were reversing moves all day long, and it's what you would establish yourself when you're in the dungeon, when you're working with people like, I know they didn't work with Brett, but when you were working with Stu and Brett and people,
Yeah.
it is all technical. It's getting out of moves and it's sort of kind of creating moves within moves, and they've done that, and they were so good. They were really good in this. I mean,
I really enjoyed that. Really, really enjoyed that.
it was fast paced to a degree. There was a bit of slowdown in there with obviously Brady and Slade being the bigger of the two teams. Um,
Yeah, and on that note, I thought Slade and Brady were a great pairing as well.
they did, considering.
I'm excited to see what happens with the spectaculars made up with the two of them,
Yeah.
definitely. And with Rolando as the mouthpiece. He caught me off guard last night. He was great on the mic, all suited up. And we were talking about this on the Discord last night, and I said the same thing. I was like, he really did catch me off guard. I'm quite excited to see what happens with the spectaculars moving forward.
So am I, but I really hope that we get to see more of Cam Fox and Kay Prince. They
Mhm.
were great. I mean, I didn't really, because obviously they're wearing the pink and black as well, and then they obviously Joe Garley on commentary mentioned her from the dungeon. Um, they went for the heart attack, didn't they? The ending there, they did try it, bless them, they didn't get it. There was a big boot leg sweep combo which gave Brady and Slade the Spectaculars the win, so they'll go on to face Cheese and Orlando for the spot. But I hope maybe it's going to be a territory thing. I don't know, but we need to see more of the dungeon
Yeah, absolutely.
and anyone training in the dungeon. I mean, that'd be great because if they them to us what to go by, what Natty and people are training out of that dungeon, we need to see more people from that dungeon on TV. Doesn't matter where,
Yeah.
we just need to see them.
Yeah, exactly,
They
exactly.
were
So no,
brilliant.
that'll be yeah.
That would be brilliant.
More of all four, let's just say that, or five if we include Rolando. So
Yeah, we can call Orlando. Yeah, he was good. He was good. Bless him on the mic. He did, as you mentioned, he did get on the mic with Carl Davis at the end. They were sort of saying, that he replaced with obviously they replaced Rolando with Rush, sorry, with
Rush, yeah.
Brady, and obviously then they turned into another thing where they said the King Bees will be defending their titles at the Crockett Cup, but then they said about it being online, something about being online only, or something along those lines at the end of that promo.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So that'll be interesting. King Bees, Texas,
Yeah,
their
that
home
hometown.
state as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
And they did hinted along the lines of that they'd love to see an all-female Crockett Cup at some point down the line as well. So
I could see that. I could definitely
yeah,
see
that
that.
would be interesting.
That would
Yeah,
be.
that should be a good match actually. But did they actually say who was taking
Nope.
them on? They didn't,
Nope.
did they?
Nope. They didn't, but I just wonder if next week's, I'm just going to run down next week's card, whether perhaps we'll get an inkling. Obviously, we've already mentioned Knox and Murdoch against the Mission Beach Faithful. God, sorry about that. Looks can kill against obviously Jackson Storm. We've got Damien Fenra.
Fenir? Fenir?
Fredere. Well, we'll see. Fred
Fenir?
Astaire.
I
We'll
don't
see.
know. Sorry if that's wrong, mate.
Yeah, I don't mean to offend you, but I mean, Jesus, I'm Japanese names, I'm bad, but I don't know, maybe you're French or something or other than that. We'll see you next week against Joe Alonso. And then,
Non-title match.
yes, non-title John Alonso won't be defending the title. But Tiffany Nieves and Tenka I've got versus La Rosa.
Rekka Tahaka.
Didn't see that, but I was pausing it to try and get the names and the line
Yeah,
was
so
over the top of
Tiffany
the name.
Nieves and Rekka Tahaka versus Ruthie
Rekka.
J and La Rosa Negra.
There we go. Now we saw that La Rosa Negra was really good, if I remember last time.
I'm pretty sure we've seen this matchup before.
Have we? I don't remember seeing, or maybe we did. I don't remember
I'm sure
seeing.
we saw a match that this is very familiar before. I think this is a rematch of a previous match.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we saw something with these four ladies a few weeks back.
Okay. Well, we'll get to see it again. But I just wondered if the winner of that is going against the King Bees.
Yeah, there was no sort of it's number one contenders match or anything. So
No.
I don't know.
No. But it's 4 matches next week, so they'll be a bit shorter than this way. In terms of the match lengths, will be shorter next week, probably, which is
Yeah.
a bit of a shame because obviously the Crockett Cup starts, and I would have liked to have, had their bit longer, have that take a bit more time. But they're only taping the Crockett Cup on Saturday, so that's a tough editing gig to get it ready for Tuesday.
Will it? But yeah, like, I don't know. I don't think it
I
will
mean, I
air on
haven't.
Tuesday. Like,
Have
they'll
they?
usually do tapings and stuff like Saturday, Sunday, and it'll go out on the Tuesday. But
Mm.
obviously, that's not happening. It could actually be a couple more weeks before we see any of the Crockett Cup action.
The first round's next week.
Yeah, but that's not from Saturday.
Right, that's where I was getting. That's what I was getting. I thought they were recording this Saturday. Is it?
No, so
I'm
that's not
guessing
from
Saturday.
Saturday. So Saturday's live, but what we're going to see next Tuesday has
Already been taken in
already been
Tampa, right?
recorded and been
Oh, I
taped.
thought
Yeah.
this all come from a Saturday. I was getting excited
No.
for a minute. I thought we were going to get
So
quite.
I don't know when the Crockett Cup's actually going to air.
As in,
There may be some more tapings still,
right.
so it might be a few more weeks.
So what
I
we're
will
thinking,
return to this though because I've got a wee. I'm probably going to go off on a rant about the Crockett Cup in a minute as well, but we've still got another match, our main event from Powerr to talk about.
we do. We're going to get into that. I hadn't forgotten. It was Mims and Zion. Winner takes on Latimer at Crcokett Cup. Funnily enough, it was Mims and Zion. EC3 on comms, which was a bit of a strange one, considering
Hmm.
he's got no, there's nothing for him to do on this particular match. It was just random, but it was nice. EC3 is very articulate in his words, and he comes across very good on the mic.
But then I think he knows that potentially whoever's got the national championship
Yeah,
may well be coming for him. So it's in his best interest to keep an eye on the up and comers who are at his tail,
on the
basically.
competition for sure. Um, Austin Idol was getting involved in this, as
Of
he
course
always,
he did. Of
in more ways than one, in more
course he did.
more times than one. Um, what I found strange about this, Mims was very sort of face, and last time we saw Mims, he had turned on his partner and walked out.
Yeah, Mims is not the face, I think, though. I don't know, like just I
Zion,
watched the I watched the This is the NWA podcast on Monday night, and Mims was a guest on that. And he's very much a changed boy. His attitude is very much flipped.
since
He's
we
a little
spoke.
bit more arrogant and a little bit more, I deserve this. So,
Hmm, okay, well, it was just he come across more of a face in this match than Zion.
yeah, no, well, it's Zion and Idol, isn't it? So anybody would come off as a face against the two of them, I guess.
He did, and Mims was getting the better of this match until he got a chop block. There was a figure four, which they called the Las Vegas lock by Zion.
That seemed to go on forever.
He was tapping out at that point. I thought that was it, but he
Yep.
didn't. He didn't tap at all. They went a bit longer. Then there was a bit where Mims tried to suplex him off the top. Idol held his foot on the outside of the ring, and then Zion puts him in the clutch,
The Z
the
clutch.
Z clutch. Oh, and he does tap. We didn't get any entrance mute this week. It was always in the ring. One thing I would say was Zion's music just sounds like someone's just letting off a smoke thing at a party.
It's white noise. I actually quite like it. When they commented on it last week or the week before, and it's just like white noise, like the static on a TV or something like
Yeah.
that.
Or like someone's got a smoke, when like Becky Lynch comes out and she has the smoke, it's that in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It is that, but Zion is the #1 contender for Latimer and will go against Latimer at the Crockett Cup whenever that is.
Tom better win this because Austin Idol will be insufferable if Zion wins.
Oh,
Insufferable.
I think I know now. He sounds a bit like Wade Barrett.
Okay.
Stu, his
Okay.
name, Wade Barrett. Stu. Anyway, well, hopefully it's not derogatory anyway. I wasn't meaning it to be. Yeah, so Zion one-on-one with Latimer at the Crockett Cup, and as you say, EC3 then called out Sam Adonis on it, who he's
I'm
going
excited. I'm so glad Sam's back.
on the
How Sam got the #1, like the title shot, is a little bit beyond me. But I'm excited to see the two of them. Sam's a big lad. EC3's a big lad. Sam's a big lad. And as EC3 rightly said, Sam has done so much as an American import in Mexico. He's huge in Mexico.
Yeah.
I am very, very excited to see. And as far as I'm aware, he lives in Texas now. So it's his home state, so I reckon that'll be an absolute belter of a match.
I
I'm
think
looking
so.
forward to seeing it.
When we get to see, yeah. So obviously, what they're probably taping this week then is like the semi-finals and finals or something along those lines of the Crockett Cup, I would assume, in that.
Yeah.
And then we're seeing, so they've already taken the first one. Silly me, that's silly me. But nevertheless, it was a good episode of Power. It had its moments for sure, some exciting bits. But you said you had another theory or something about the Crockett Cup, or you were going to say one about a tangent.
No, not a theory as such. Again, it's just in conversation. I've been over at the Crockett Cup, right? I love tag team wrestling. It's my favourite tournament. It just doesn't feel big to me this year. It doesn't feel like an event. It doesn't feel like it's been hyped. It just feels like, oh, there's some tag team wrestling. And that's, as a tag wrestling fan, that's quite sad. There's not really any outside teams in it this year.
Yeah.
We had the Outrunners last year and things like that. 2 years ago we had I've had a mental block.
Briscoes are in it, weren't they?
The Briscoes, yeah. So 2 years ago we had the Briscoes in it. It's just not got the buzz for me, and it's made me a little bit sad, to be honest with you.
Well,
And I miss the big night events. I miss the big events. I miss going for a nap at tea time and getting up at like 1 o'clock in the morning and getting my snacks in and staying up until the sun comes up to watch wrestling. I miss the big feel of it. And I still feel like splitting it over 4 or 5 weeks or however long it is, just it loses the excitement, it loses the specialness. It just, yeah.
No, I get that. I can understand.
Because we've got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 16, 17, 18, 19. So there's 20 matches all in.
Yeah.
They can't do that in one night.
No.
Right? So they've obviously pre-taped all the first round matches, I would guess.
Yeah.
Because the night on the night, it would be the longest show in the world. So I reckon they've already taped the first round matches, and in the Crockett Cup, we're only going to see the quarterfinals and the semis and the final.
Possibly, quite possibly, as you say.
Which is, yeah, it makes me sad.
Indeed. Tickets are still available via Ticketmaster fee. Is that where they are selling?
No, not Ticketmaster. It is nwatix.com.
That's it. nwatix.com. You can still get to the Crockett Cup for the weekend. Please do that.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're in America, you get to watch it every week on the CW app and probably something else going forward. There was a bit of news, actually. I forgot to talk to you about this. That I can't remember who said it. Somebody said it. Well, I don't know if it was someone working in the NWA or somebody working within the WWE was mentioning that when obviously the NXT, when it starts on the CW, they're potentially talking about having crossovers. So
It was an interview that Billy did, who basically said, "Oh, I would love for NWA to be like a feeder for NXT or something like that."
Could work.
He would like. I think he would like to work with them, but I would like an international TV deal. Can't have it all.
Well, on that note, Fee, you're going to be in July. I'm going a bit ahead of things, but you're going to be taking a walk in July with Elijah. From what
I am. My goodness, there's so much exciting stuff coming up. I am super excited. So we've got 3 lots of shows with Inside the Ropes coming up now. So 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of June, with Jake the Snake Roberts. Glasgow, Manchester, London. Tickets from itrtix.com. Then in July the 12th, we're in London with Elijah. And then 15th in Glasgow with Elijah. In fact, it's 8 o'clock on Wednesday night. Tickets are on sale now. So by the time you watch this, tickets will be on sale. The VIP meet and greet for Elijah is only $29.99.
Shut up. Sorry. So
so it's an absolute bargain, honestly.
You shitting
so No,
So
it's an absolute bargain. So head on over to itrtix.com for that one. And then in September, on the 9th and 10th, we are bringing the most wonderful Lita over for 2 shows in Glasgow and London as well. So loads and loads of really cool stuff with Inside the Ropes coming up. InsideTheRopes.com for all the Inside the Ropes bits and pieces, but itrtix.com for shows, for show tickets and show information and stuff. So
that is
yeah.
absolutely incredible. $29.99 to meet Elijah. That is, wow, that is ridiculous.
So that should be fun. I'm looking forward to those ones.
Tickets are literally on sale right now as we're
Like
talking.
right now,
Literally right now.
yeah.
So when you
That's
watch
it,
this,
8 o'clock on the dot, that's them.
literally. So when you watch this tomorrow, go to itrtix.com and get them. It's very tempting. Now I have a show on the Sunday. That is very. He's actually going to be on a show, I think, on the Saturday. He's going to be at North Wrestling on the Saturday.
Yeah, that's right.
From what I hear, against Joe Hendry, I believe.
That'll be fun.
That would be interesting. So coming up from us, yeah, we've got quite busy. We've got, hey, listen, we got an American independent wrestler coming on very soon. That's someone that took Cody Rhodes to the limit when Cody Rhodes was in AEW, when he was doing the, I suppose, an open challenge for the championship, and his name was Warhorse.
Nice. That'll be fun. That'll be a good chat.
He's coming on. We are in talks with a very, very old school WWF. He wasn't a wrestler in the WWF, but he was a part of the WWF. That will probably be coming on in a couple of months, in line with an action figure that he's got coming out. He's not a wrestler though, but he's going to get his own action. I can't tell you the name.
Okay.
I'll tell you the name.
Okay.
So that's been lined up soon as well. Obviously, we do have Buckle Up. 85% sold now, which is lovely.
Nice.
And
Don't sell that mofo out.
what I will tell you is you will never know who's going to show up at Buckle Up. That's what I can safely say now after today, that you will not know who's going to show up until we get there. Am I hinting at maybe a surprise or two? Maybe. But yeah, that is on sale. Tickets go on sale. Well, they are already on sale at Eventbrite. 96 Eventbrite just put in Ignite Buckle Up 2024. Luke Jacobs against Corey McRae. There is Smashing Mike versus Mark True for our championship. There is also Adonis Payne versus Tommy Kyle versus Gene Money versus Man Like Doris for the Ignite Championship. And also congratulations to the new Hitting the Turnbuckle Women's Champion, Millie McKenzie, defeated Aluna in a triple threat match at Apex Wrestling this past weekend. So congratulations
Nice
to
one.
that.
Well done, Millie.
Well done, Millie. Wear that proud, my dear. We've had you on the show before, and you're good close friends of our co-host David as well. He was, I believe, David's words were at WrestleMania one year that he shared some nachos with you. His claim to fame. But Fee, it's been lovely as ever.
Can I just before you finish, I need to plug my show. I am actually working this weekend. I do have a show on Friday night with Pro Wrestling Scotland and Moodiesburn. Tickets available from ringsideworld.co.uk. The only matches I have seen so far for that are Crcokett versus Xander Davidson, and for the Pro Wrestling Scotland Championship, it's challenger Davy Blaze taking on current champion Daz Black, who is definitely one to watch. So yeah, that's Friday night in Moodiesburn, ringsideworld.co.uk for tickets.
Very interesting. Go and get down there if you're up in that neck of the woods. But again, I will say, Fee, thank you as ever for spending some time with me talking some NWA.
Sorry for being grumpy.
Don't worry, I'm getting used to it on these things.
Oh,
I'm joking.
oh,
I am joking. It's always good to chat some NWA. We'll do this again next week, and we'll obviously see you guys next week. And until then, you NWA fans, take care, buckle down, and stay safe.